Hello and welcome to Webisode 274 of Living Life to the Fullest, where we do something new or we learn something new each and every single day for 365 consecutive days. We are on day 275, as I said. Anyway, today what we did was, this was a suggestion at lunch one day, since one of our teachers went through this program. It's a program called Teach for America. And what Teach for America does is basically it takes the highest of the high type A personalities from Ivy League schools and places them in the neediest school districts around our country. For example, in the Atlanta public schools, it's a very needy school district, very high poverty rate, very low test scores, very urban. So what they do is they put these people, mostly from Ivy League schools, and they only accept about 12% of applicants, very educated go-getters, but whatever. They give them 5 weeks of training. 5. You heard me right. 5. And they put them into the neediest schools in our country. That's it for a minute. 5 weeks of training. 5. Okay. So, since the Patriots lost, I put a lot of time into reading a lot of stories of people who went through the program. And most of the stories, pretty close to all of them, were disaster. There were some good ones. I even read their notable alumni. One became a Teacher of the Year. The rest had really not gone on to teach after their 2-year commitment. Most of the people who go through the program don't continue after the 2 years, and a lot of them drop out after the first year. I couldn't imagine this going any worse, or who thought this was a good idea, or why it's still even happening. Like I saw something where President Obama is saying this is a great thing that people want to volunteer their time and volunteer their life to do this, such a noble cause. I don't know the exact phrase, and it gets tons of money and charity. This is a horrible idea. You cannot not put people who have 0 classroom experience, I don't care how smart they are, into these classrooms. Those classrooms need the best teachers. They need teachers who have experience in classroom. They need fluidity, meaning these schools cannot have the turnover they're having. There's a reason these schools fail. When you have teachers come in for Teach for America and they teach for 1 year and go, or 2 years and go, or some schools will get rid of a lot of their teachers and bring these teachers in, but then they'll stay a year or 2 and go. You have no continuity. The morale's terrible. There's no connections with students. Connections with students that's like the biggest thing. And I don't know how many, maybe a lot of type A students have great personalities. I don't know. But as a teacher, from the outside looking in, I think it's a great idea. Let's help out our urban schools, but the real way to do it is money. Invest in education, stability. Why are we funding schools through property taxes? So the worst schools in our country are poorly funded. It's just common sense. Look at Hartford. The property taxes They're not getting a lot of money in property taxes, so they're not properly funded. But then you have rich areas. Look where the schools are the greatest. It's just common sense. But we're doing a disservice to our children, and that's what bothers me. So you have school districts like Greenwich and Fairfield and Glastonbury who are doing wonderful, West Hartford, and everybody wants their kids to go to those school districts. Yet I've heard people say, I don't want to move to Middletown because of the school district. I don't want to move to Bristol because of the school district. I don't want to move to Hartford because of the school district. So how are you going to get a thriving downtown in Hartford if you don't have thriving schools? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. It all has to add up, and it's never going to happen if we continue this way. Funding schools through property taxes is a disaster. Anyway, I got off on another tangent there, but maybe I need to read about it more. If you have comments, maybe I need to learn more, but this was what I learned about Teach for America. We'll see you tomorrow for what should be 276, I think. See you tomorrow.